AP, welcome back to it. Welcome back to your flip classroom, into this insanely short flip that we're about to actually have, where we're going to discuss this end of modernist thinking, right? But this is a very short flip because I haven't finished this Prezi. I was super busy this weekend, so this is benefiting y'all in the long run. Also, like I said, Unit 7 is super, super short, so we're just like trying to make sure that I actually like kind of weed out things that I think are worth weeding out, right? Now, going into it, what we need to understand is we left off in our last class talking about Friedrich Nietzsche, right? And Friedrich Nietzsche is going to be the inventor, co-founder, if you will, of a concept known as nihilism, and a very, very integral force in this idea known as irrationalism, right? Where he believed that like true concepts of creativity were being stifled by faith in Christianity. He said God is dead and man has killed him, and he thought that literally the belief that values are baseless and that nothing is known like for sure, and that nothing can be known nor communicated for sure without a shadow of a doubt, right? But I'm going to again put Heimler's video down in the description, so if you could do me a favor, go ahead and watch the rest of this flip, and then I want you to just watch that Heimler video back to back so it can help line up all of these concepts, right? So going into it though, we need to also understand that modernist thinking is going to begin to affect branches of science, right? And so you're going to see it very, very heavily be used in modernism and psychology, right? Founded by a guy named Sigmund Freud, right? Sigmund Freud, the very famous Viennese psychologist, believed that actually humans do not make rational decisions. He actually believed that they make irrational decisions based on emotional like decisions and their subconscious, right? So he believes that basically that we try to twist decisions and twist wants and desires away from the fact that we have repressed childhood ideals or repressed childhood traumas, right? He said that your childhood repressions live in your subconscious, in the back of your mind, and they manifest themselves in your decisions, right? So he's very Nietzschean about this. He's very Friedrich Nietzsche about the idea that he believes emotions drive you more than anything else, right? And your daily decision was governed by three parts of your psychosis: your id, your ego, and your superego. And the way to think about it basically is your ego is the face that you put onto the world every day. What you're observing right now is my ego. This is my ego right here, right? Like I have the image of myself that I'm putting out there. The id is my primal subconscious, my thing that's like, if there's a cheeseburger over there and I'm the only one that gets it, I'm going to kill the other guy to make sure I get it. My very animalistic side, or the devil on my shoulder, right? And the superego is the angelic version of myself on my shoulder that's sitting there strumming a harp, and it's probably Mr. Mathern being like, hey, don't do that. That's a bad decision. Be nice to him. Split the cheeseburger instead. The superego is basically what society has taught me morality is supposed to be, right? And that my ego, the me in the middle, balances those two things out all the time, right? And then my id and my ego are also subject to my childhood traumas and repressions, right? Now, he believed that through guided therapy and psychoanalysis that a person could be understood or understand their own subconscious and understand where these decisions come from. He's the guy that actually was led to, like, when you think of the stereotypical therapist's office, when somebody is laying down and he is like talking about like, what's your relationship like with your mom? What's one of your earliest memories you have? How does that make you feel? Those kind of things, right? And to be guided through it will actually help lead to an understanding of your actual subconscious itself. And that whole process is called psychoanalysis, right? Now, he had some weird ideas later on that were later proven wrong. For example, his theory on the Oedipus complex, where he believed that all of us are attracted to our parents, and that's why we're destined to end up with people like our parents, that like secretly, that I literally was like in love with my mom when I was a child, and that's why I gravitated towards her because I'm a boy and she's a girl and blah, blah, blah. That was later proven wrong, but his work still advanced the field of psychology tremendously and actually took it forward like decades in advance, right? And so his modernist thinking on the analysis of psychoanalysis, though, is going to be very important. Now, going into it also, though, you have a rationalism and modernism in natural sciences as well, and you're going to see this guy pop up because Newton was right, okay? Not Newton pop up, but Newton was right, but not always right, okay? When we look at thermodynamics and Enlightenment-style thinking, we have to understand that Newton made a lot of very, very intense laws in thermodynamics, right? Like every action has an equal but opposite reaction. You can't destroy or create matter, right? That nothing will stop unless an outside force acts upon it. And all of this stuff is very, very true, but Enlightenment-style thinking showed us that actually the world is a little bit more unknown than we realized, and Max Planck is going to be the guy that begins to do this, okay? He's a German scientist, and he actually said that atoms do not behave. They are actually very erratic, right? They don't follow a script and emit energy in constant flows, that they actually emit it in different waves, erratic ones called quanta, right? And what that leads to in the study of these things is later known as quantum mechanics and quantum physics. And the erratic nature of light and the fact that it's a wave and a particle, which makes no sense according to like Newton's laws, right? You can't be both a wave and a particle, but light is both a wave and a particle, right? And so literally he noticed and discovered that actually the nature of the world does not act by a script. It actually is very erratic and all over the place. And what this is actually going to get the ball rolling on is theoretical physics, which is going to help lead to the concepts of quantum mechanics, theoretical physics, and the manipulation of atomic things, right? And if you can manipulate atoms, split them, understand them, shoot them at things, then maybe you could eventually blow stuff up with them, right? We'll talk about that as well when we get closer to World War II. And that right there, y'all, is your flip for the evening. That's it. That's all you need to actually know. And we're actually going to start talking about imperialism tomorrow. So put on your hats, okay, because we're going to be moving through some really intense stuff tomorrow. But I'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a good one.